Hi everyone, so today we're going to go over a few things that you can do if you want to reduce the right side bend that you have coming into and moving through the shot. Obviously not a very helpful move. When we're adding too much flexion of this right side here, too much shortening of this right side coming into the shot, it's going to shift the club path to the right, and at the same time it's going to get the club releasing a little sooner. So it's often in response to someone trying to release the club face, whether it's to square it or just there's too much, they're trying to shallow it because there's too much of a steep angle of attack. However, can lead to pushes, hooks, hitting it heavy and hitting it thin. So obviously we want to get away from that habit. Lots of times I see it in response to a very active early shift with the lower body. So what we're going to actually do here is put our focus on how we want to move through with upper body and how we want to get it to actually move through, and then allow the lower body to move in a way that's more responsive to actually how we want to get the club coming in and how we want to deliver it. Okay, so when I'm working on this, the feel that I like to go to on the way back is, first of all, let's just match up the rotation with the club and the arms. So we're gonna get nicely matched on the way back, and then working through it, I'm actually really working on this right shoulder, getting almost over the ball there. Okay, so I'm gonna work on getting, if I had this right pec area here, I'm gonna try and focus on pointing that at the target. And in response, you can see how my left hip's working already, how it's very naturally extending and moving out the way to allow that right shoulder to move into that position. And that's the feel that I like. I just simply rehearse impact there, and I'll even work through. I'll continue that extension through that left side into that left hip, and I'll actually extend to the target and get that right shoulder moving through as much as I can. So instead of moving in this manner here, which we're trying to get away from into the shot, we're encouraging more of this motion here, getting that right shoulder more through the shot. Okay, and into my finish, actually, one area I do put attention on is making sure that I keep that length through that right side into the finish, and there's not too much of this position here. So nice and tall in the finish. If I go towards you with the camera, that would be it there, trying to get these shoulders a little bit more level in the finish than finishing this way with that right side being a bit shorter there. Okay, so we'll go through and hit a few. So I just have a 9-iron here. I'll go typical 9-iron stance. I'll work, making sure I match it there. Get that right shoulder where I want it to. Work through. I like to do a lot of little rehearsals like that when working on these smaller areas of the swing. And I'm just clipping off the tee to begin with, because when I work on movement and I want my attention to be on improving a certain feel, I'm going to give myself a little bit of room for error. It's very easy when you're practicing to get dragged into the ball flight. So this is just one way to prevent myself, or give myself a little bit of an edge before going off the turf. So again, there, match up arms and the club. There's getting that right shoulder through into it. There's nice and tall, extended through the left leg, extended through the arms to the finish there, nice and long through the right side. There are the keys into the shot. Okay, so they are the feels we're looking for. Here's a really intuitive way to build that motion without having to think too much of all the wording. If you go split grip, and this I call the hockey slap shot drill, something I picked up working with a number of Canadian players over here in the United States, and you can see I'm split grip, and you can see as I work in, I'm keeping a nice bit of lean there. Now this probably a bit too much there, but what I'm focusing on is still getting that nice sensation of that right shoulder getting nicely almost on the ball, feeling as though it can move nice and freely through the shot. And at the same time, I'm allowing this left leg to act in response, just as we were doing just a moment ago. It's a really nice sensation to actually work on that delivery aspect, the stuff that we were talking about. So give that one a feel. And I'll at times even back off, make sure that I even get the rotation there as I'm doing it, keeping the arms and the club matched up, and then work into that feel there and through. You could even play with it hitting balls if you'd like to. I simply go with the feel of doing that, and then back into the same stuff that I was working on, and really focusing on in that finish being nice and tall. One other aspect I'm also trying to do that I forgot to mention is really reduce this amount of extension to the front. So when I do a nice job here, I actually finish nice and tall and controlled in my core area. So that in my finish is one area I'm really looking to get some good feedback from. Really awesome drill. I actually think that the finish position is an awesome piece of feedback here. If you're able to move through it nice and reduce that side bend, you'll be nice and balanced, and you'll be able to hold your finish, and you won't have too much length here or too much shortness around here. So give those feels a go. And if you are someone, as I mentioned before, that gets a little shorter there, I'm pretty sure working through those short swings, doing that stuff is going to help.